Good afternoon, and thanks for joining me on Sunshine Reports. My name is Remy Allen. The Ondo State Amotekun Corps has apprehended two siblings for self-kidnapping in Okakoko. The female teenagers, who are secondary school students, allegedly demanded a ransom of 100,000 naira from their parents. Osrc's Zaid Aribisala reports that a suspected food supplier to kidnappers was also paraded alongside 25 other suspects. His report.
Still in their school uniforms but far away from the four walls of the classrooms, the bond of sisterhood between these teenage siblings allegedly resulted in the mastermind of their own kidnapping. The female students of the secondary school were arrested after a 3-day alleged self-kidnap fiasco in Okakoko, Akoko Southwest Council area. The two sisters were among the 28 suspected criminals paraded by the Ondo State Security Network Agency, Amotekun Corps. Amotekun Commander Adetunji Adeleye said 18 of the suspects were apprehended for kidnapping in our area of the state. A woman who allegedly specializes in supplying daily need to kidnappers in the forest was equally arrested alongside a son.
We have people who kidnap themselves and raise alarm. And in our diligent investigations, we were able to unravel the mystery surrounding their disappearance to the extent that they confessed. We have one Foka Noah who held two ladies hostage and got two other men to torture, rape, and beat them for weeks before one of the victims had access to phone and called us and were able to apprehend them.
Also paraded by the Amotekun Corps were suspected cultists at Igbokoda, rapist and robber at Ore, and hostage taker at Ilaje. Adeleye noted that the Corps, alongside other security agencies, will continue to comb forests to rid the state of kidnappers and joined residents to be cautious when boarding taxis or motorcycle, as criminals now utilize sleeping gas to carry out their nefarious activities.
The new trend of criminal activity now is most times suspecting victims would board either Okada or taxi, and you see them blowing balloons. These balloons are already laced with poisonous gas that make them to doze off and they become unconscious.
The Ondo State Security Network Agency says the suspects will be charged to court for prosecution, while alternative dispute resolution will be utilized in cases where necessary. Zaid Aribisala, Osrc News.
Akure, the Ondo State capital, has in recent days been unprecedentedly plagued with flooding. The most recent was Saturday's flooding, which rattled the central nerve of the town. As the downpour continues midway into the year, Osrc's Joy Pius seeks to unravel the causes, effects, and the probable solutions to the resurgence of flooding in the state capital. The report.
From NIMET to Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency, the warnings of flooding in 2023 across Nigeria were resounding. The devastating effects on residents and property worth millions were constantly highlighted by Osrc since the start of the year, following the several warnings. As early as January this year, the impending dangers were evident from red flags identified in Akure. Drainages were blocked due to improper disposal of waste by residents. Overgrown weeds and silts filled gutters and major culverts across the city. On Saturday, 15th July, Oba Adeshida Road was overtaken by an unprecedented flood, stalling vehicular and human movement, a development that has got many tongues wagging and raised concerns in different quarters. At Airways, Ilesha Motor Park, Iriakari, Orita Obele, and Oluwatuyi Roundabout, residents bemoaned the rate at which the road are flooded whenever it rains, accompanied by unpalatable experiences.
Major problem we are facing on this road is the refuse being dumped inside the gutter. So during the rainy season, the blockage is always much. So the water will be coming to the roadside, which will be causing a lot of flooding and erosion. So I think that is the major reason concerning the issue. And at the end of the day, the road will be giving him all these photos will be coming out. At the end of the day, if it is not being taken care of, it will lead to some things. So the government should enforce it. To have an enforcement agent that are regularly checking the gutter. So anybody called will face the law.
Tójò bá ti rọ̀ ó máa ń fa hold up fún gbogbo àwọn onímọ́tò tó ṣe pé àtàwọn ọlọ́kadà àwọn ò kì í rí bí gbà lọ ẹlòmíì gan tí ò bá mọ̀ tó bá ti já sínú rẹ̀ ó máa ń kọ̀ sí bóyá sálẹ́sà àwọn àbí ẹ́ńjìn yẹn tó bá ti bọ́ sínú omi tómi ti rọ̀ sí ó máa ń fa wàhálà fún mọ́tò wọn tó ṣe pé gbà míì ó máa ń fẹ́ fa bí accident bí àwọn èèyàn gan ẹlẹ́sẹ̀ wọn ò rí bí gbà nǹkan tó dẹ̀ kọ̀ sí ẹni pé òjò tó bá ti ń bọ̀ látọ̀nà Iléṣà gáràjì yẹn pọ̀ mọ́ òkúta elérin ńlá ibí ni gbogbo ẹ̀ dorí kọ tó bá ti ń bọ̀ bí ibí ló máa ń stọ́ọ̀pù sí.
A public affairs analyst, Tubosun Awe, believes indiscriminate waste disposal and shoddy waste management in the state is the major cause of the resurging flooding. He admonished local government administrations to see to the removal of unwanted weeds in drains to allow free flow of water during rainfall.
The orientation is very important on the part of the government. That is, those days we used to have a mass literacy. You could kind of incorporate a kind of measure of aggressive mass literacy on the part of the government to the public so that they should know that they are not doing the government a favor when waste is not rightly disposed. And that is what we are seeing in our society today. The fallout, most of the drainages that have been blocked, and the fallout now coming back to the people.
In an interview with Osrc, the Commissioner for Environment in Ondo State, Sunday Akinwalire, said efforts are in place to ensure erosion control to combat flooding in prone areas of the state.
Government has prepared very well, not just in Akure local government alone. Across another, we'll be having the touch of that arrangement in Irele local government, we have in the Kutukwa local government, we have in our local government. There are some areas in Akuku. We have one will happen in Idore local government, just like that, where these environmental issues will be discussed and touched very well. So I think what our people should do is to make sure they don't pour their waste on the water side there. Then, most especially, I think we have talked in the past about those people who erect their structures just on the river courses. And you come and wait for Godot. You want government to come and salvage you. When you're ready, you are intimidating the water course itself. So the water will fight for itself. There's nothing government could do about that too.
Efforts to speak with authorities in Akure South local government, whom residents believe have a critical role to play, proved abortive, as the chairman was not available for an interview. Predictions are that the rains might continue till later in the year, and residents' contributions to flood indices will determine how much of sleep they would enjoy during this season. Joy Pius, OSRC News.
President Bola Tinubu has returned to Abuja from Nairobi, Kenya, where he participated in the 5th mid-year coordination meeting of the African Union, AU. President Tinubu, who attended in his capacity as chairman of the Authority of the Heads of State and Government of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, left Abuja on Saturday. While in Nairobi, the president joined other African leaders to draft a declaration based on deliberations and conclusions arrived at the meeting, reaffirming Africa's unity and strength, firmly rejecting any motion on a new Scrabble for Africa. He also showcased his commitment to strengthening the ECOWAS standby force with the aim to deter coup and combat terrorism in the sub-region. The president was received at the airport by top government functionaries led by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume. Nigeria's headline inflation rate has risen for the sixth consecutive time to 22.79%, according to the data released by the National Bureau of Statistics. The inflation rate in Africa's biggest economy rose to a new 17-year high of 22.79% in June 2023 from 22.41% in the previous month. The body noted that food and non-alcoholic beverages led the list of items that contributed to the rising inflation figure with 11.81%. Expressing optimism in the new administration to fight inflation, economists decried recent high production costs but expressed belief that things will be better as time goes by. The federal government has confirmed the first case of anthrax in Nigeria, stating that the disease was detected on a farm in Niger State. In a statement, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development said a rapid response team comprising of federal and state and health professional team visited the farm to conduct preliminary investigations and collected samples from the sick animals. The government had alerted the general public to the outbreak of the disease in some neighboring countries within the West African sub-region and advised Nigerians to desist from consumption of hides, otherwise known as momo, at the moment. Anthrax is caused by the spore-forming bacterium Bacillus anthracis, which primarily affects animals such as cattle, sheep, and goats. The Abia State government says it has discovered 2,300 ghost workers in its payroll system and has saved over 220 million naira on monthly wage bills following ongoing verification of civil servants and other public workers in the state. State Accountant General Njung Onyemena said in Umuahia that the huge savings was made using a unified payment system. She confirmed that following Governor Otis' directive, workers have been paid the arrears of April salaries left behind by the immediate past administration, as well as June pensions to retirees. The AG added that local government staff who had been skipped when the June salaries were paid due to failure to submit their verified payment schedule will receive their salaries this week. Mrs. Onyemena revealed that the verification is still ongoing and added that the state government had expressed its hopes to make more savings. And finally, on sports, Ondo State Ministry of Education is collaborating L&B Sports Academy to help fill in the gap created by the shortfall of young soccer talents in Akure North and Akure South Council areas of the state. Through a pre-holiday football tournament tagged L&B Sports Competition, 18 secondary schools in Akure South and 11 from Akure North will slug it out at 4 centers in Akure, Obaile, and Iju Itaogbolu. The secondary school competition will commence on Thursday, July 20 in Akure, with Alakure taking on Muslim College and CAC battling it out with Adigbola Memorial College. To ensure best global practices, all the 29 schools will be screened at Aquinas College, Akure, same day the competition gets underway. The final of the competition is fixed for Friday, the 28th. And that concludes Sunshine Reports. Many thanks for watching. Good afternoon.